Deep in the heart of a dense forest, there stood a towering laboratory station. Its walls were made of gleaming steel, and the windows were tinted black to keep prying eyes from seeing what was going on inside. Here, a team of brilliant scientists worked tirelessly to create the next big thing in monster making. One fateful night, the laboratory was in full swing. Test tubes bubbled with strange liquids, sparks flew from electrical wires, and the air was thick with the scent of ozone. The scientists were all busy with their respective projects, but none more so than Dr. Isaacson. He was the head of the laboratory, and he'd been working on a secret project for months. Dr. Isaacson had been experimenting with a new type of DNA sequencing that he believed could create a monster unlike anything the world had ever seen before. He had poured all of his resources into the project, and now, on this dark and stormy night, he was finally ready to see if his creation would work. As he worked, lightning flashed outside, casting eerie shadows on the laboratory walls. Suddenly, there was a loud explosion, and a cloud of smoke filled the room. Dr. Isaacson stumbled backward, his lab coat singed and his glasses shattered. When the smoke cleared, he saw that his experiment had gone horribly wrong. In front of him stood a monster with yellow eyes, thin, tall frame, and black jelly-like skin. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, and he knew that he had created a monster that was beyond his control. The monster's yellow eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as it looked around the laboratory. It was tall, at least 8 feet in height, and its limbs were long and thin. Its skin was slick with a viscous black substance that oozed and pulsed like jelly. Dr. Isaacson was stunned. He had never seen anything like this before. He knew that he had to do something to stop the monster before it caused any more damage. As he watched, the monster began to move. It slithered across the floor, leaving a trail of sticky black goo in its wake. Dr. Isaacson tried to move away, but he found himself frozen with fear. He had created a monster, and now it was loose in the laboratory, its yellow eyes fixed on him. Suddenly, the monster lunged at him. Its long arms reached out, grabbing him by the shoulders and lifting him off the ground. Dr. Isaacson struggled, but he was no match for the monster's strength. As he was lifted higher and higher, he could see the monster's eyes up close. They were a sickly shade of yellow, and they seemed to glow with an otherworldly power. He could feel its hot breath on his face, and he knew that he was in mortal danger. Just then, the laboratory door burst open. A team of scientists rushed in, armed with high-powered weapons. They fired a volley of bullets at the monster, but it seemed to have no effect. The monster was too powerful, too strong. As the scientists fought for their lives, the monster continued to rampage through the laboratory. It smashed through walls, overturned tables, and destroyed everything in its path. Finally, after what seemed like hours, the monster was subdued. It lay on the ground, its black jelly-like skin still pulsing with energy, but its yellow eyes now dim and lifeless. The laboratory was in shambles, and the scientists were all badly injured. They knew that they had to destroy the monster before it could cause any more damage. With heavy hearts, they dismantled the monster, piece by piece, until there was nothing left. As they looked around the destroyed laboratory, they knew that they could never forget what had happened. The monster had been a grave mistake, a dark experiment gone horribly wrong. Despite the destruction, the scientists knew that they couldn't let their work go to waste. They spent months rebuilding the laboratory and perfecting their methods, determined to create something positive from the chaos they had unleashed. But they could never shake the memory of the monster with the yellow eyes and black jelly skin. It haunted them, a reminder of the dangers of playing God and the consequences of tampering with nature. Years passed, and the laboratory continued its work. The scientists went on to create countless new monsters, each one more impressive and awe-inspiring than the last. But they never forgot the lesson they had learned that fateful night, and they always approached their work with caution and respect. In the end, the monster with the yellow eyes became a distant memory, a cautionary tale passed down from one generation of scientists to the next. But in the darkest hours of the night, when the laboratory was silent and still, some swore that they could still feel its presence, lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. So the laboratory station stood, a monument to the power and potential of science, and a warning of the horrors that lurk in the unknown depths of our world.